When I watched the video and when I saw the method, I was just kicking myself so hard, alright, because I knew the method. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Nique Chats, my magic and mostly mentalism review show. My name is Nick Tan, and on today's episode, I'll be chatting with you guys about Deduce as well as Instaforce, two items from the mind of Moustapha Berjaoui. So hi guys, welcome back to the channel once again. As always, thanks for showing up, thanks for tuning in. So before anything else, I just want to give a quick shout out to all of you out there who, like me, alright, are celebrating Chinese New Year this week. 所以在这里呢，要祝大家新年快乐，万事如意。希望呢，大家在这个新的一年，这个虎年呢，做什么都会顺顺利利。最重要呢，也是要身体健康，才可以继续玩魔术。So in today's episode, I guess I'll be doing a double review, alright? I'll be looking at two items, okay? The first is called Deduce, and the second item is called Instaforce. So Moustapha Berjaoui, alright, is a mentalist and a hypnotist from Cairo in Egypt, and he dropped me a message on Facebook like early December last year, alright? He got in touch with me, just to connect, just to say hi, and also to ask if I would be interested to, review some of the products that he has released to the magic and mentalism community. So I'm going to admit it, right? Back then, I just started becoming like busier with work, and embarrassingly, I totally forgot to get back to Moustapha. But I've been really fortunate, because he recently got in touch with me again, alright, just to follow up. I apologized, alright, and then he sent me like four items, I think, to have a look at, alright, but I chose two of them to talk about on this show because these are the two items that I kind of connected with almost instantly. So let's talk about the first item right now. The first item is called Deduce. Alright, so what is Deduce? Remember, it is not the king, it is not the seven, it is Deduce. But seriously, what is Deduce? Alright, so Deduce is a stage routine that falls into the category of like a chair routine, a chair prediction kind of effect, which was actually the point that got me interested to have a look at this to begin with, because just a little over 10 years ago, might have been more than 10 years, I was like obsessed about chair routines. I was just so crazy about them. And what got me started at the time was watching, I think, Darren Brown, in 2003 or 2004, when he performed a really simple, straightforward version on one of his TV specials, alright, called Russian Roulette. And ever since then, I was like fascinated by the whole concept. Also, I had a friend from the UK, a dear friend of mine, the late and dearly missed Lewis Jones, who also, sent me VHS tapes. Alright, remember those? Of David Berglas. Alright, so I had the opportunity back then to watch David Berglas perform his legendary chair routine as well. So that kind of fueled my interest even further to look for a routine that I could use in my own show. So over the years, I must have spent hundreds and hundreds, of dollars, just buying routines from a lot of performers out there. There was a time when it seemed like all the rage, right? Everybody was releasing like a chair routine, and I had to like have them all. And then in 2012, I also released my own version of the routine, okay? It's called Chairless. It's a PDF. It's still available actually, so if you'd like to pick up a copy of that routine, just drop me an email and we'll chat from there. Or you can also pick up a copy for like, I don't know, $1 from the pirates, simply visit www.earthnique. So over the years, I've always, tried to work in a chair prediction in like the theater shows that I do. And there were times that I performed the routine as like a standalone effect, usually as an opener effect or a closing effect. But there were also times that I kind of tied it in to longer sequences that ran throughout the show. It was also a feature item in my commercial stage shows as well. And currently it also forms part of my hybrid show, which, is a show that's recorded live in a studio, but it's broadcasted live over the internet. And I've also actually created a version of the routine that I currently perform in my virtual show as well. These sorts of routines to me always get a great reaction, and I love performing them. So let's talk a little bit about what happens in Deduce, alright, the routine itself. So what happens is you're on stage and there are 3 chairs on the stage. On top of each of the chairs, there is a varying amount of money. You then borrow 3 objects from the audience, okay? So in this case, you borrow a key, a ring, and maybe a watch as well. You also look for 3 volunteers to join you on stage. So once the objects are with you on stage along with the 3 spectators, you are then blindfolded, okay? And this is a genuine blindfold, all right? You can turn your back to the spectators, you don't have to see anything. And then from here, what happens is the 3 spectators are invited to take any one of the objects they like, okay? The key, the watch, or the ring, hide it in their pocket, and then each of them will choose one of the chairs to sit in. When they sit in the chair, obviously they will pick up the money from the seat and pocket the money. Now, you, still blindfolded, then remove from your pocket another stack of bills and hand that whole stack to the 3 spectators. They are each now asked to remove another amount, okay, of bills for themselves each, and to again pocket them, okay, conceal them from view, and the remainder, whatever is left over, is just placed onto a table. So now at this point, you really, alright, have no idea, alright, who has which object, and you have no idea as well how much money each of them have, okay? You genuinely don't know any of that information. At this point, you remove your blindfold, alright, turn and face them, and from here, with just one simple thing, as miraculous as it sounds, you will be able to tell each of them what object they have. Not only that, you will be able to tell them how much money each of them has in their pocket. And also, after that, you can remove a prediction, and the prediction will actually tell everyone how much money would be left over on the table for you. So I do realize that, that sounds pretty complicated in effect, but while playing it through in my head, I think it probably plays more straightforward in performance than, just being described verbally like that. So what do you get when you purchase Deduce? Alright, well, it's a PDF, okay? It's just a 12-page PDF, and in the PDF, Moustapha will take you through everything you need to know about the routine, the prep work that you need to do, the performance of the actual routine. He will also give you some other variations to try out as well. So here are my thoughts on Deduce. I like it, alright, because again, it might be a bit biased because I like chair predictions, right? I love these sorts of routines, and I've always loved to watch and see how other people kind of structure their own routines. Now, this doesn't really play to me like the kind of chair predictions that that I've come to recognize, right? Because it's not like, you predict the order that people sit in, or there's no matching of colors, that kind of a thing. It's more of like, I think it's closer to like a divination effect, where you kind of divine, what object each of the people have, and also how much money they have in their pockets. But the staging and the performance of it does make it feel still, alright, like a chair prediction, because you still have 3 people on stage sitting in chairs making random choices. I also like it that this routine uses minimal props, okay? So all you need to do is to prepare that stack of bills, okay, the money that you need. And if you're going to do the prediction phase as well, you'll need to prepare that, obviously. But other than that, everything else that you need, can be borrowed at the venue itself, right? The 3 chairs, a table maybe, and also the 3 objects that you use during the routine. And I've not performed this routine, obviously, alright, but just kind of playing the routine out in my head, it does look quite impossible, right? It does look like there's no way that you can know any of the information, right? From the, where the objects are and to how much money is inside each of the spectators' pockets. And again, you can be genuinely blindfolded during the routine, right? Which makes it just look really impossible. Now, a couple of points that I think are worthy of consideration, all right? A couple of observations, I think, is that the routine is quite procedure heavy, okay? Because, the spectators will need to follow your directions, your instructions exactly, all right? Otherwise, the effect won't work. There is kind of like a fail-safe check, during the routine. So if something like happens, then you will know, all right, that something has gone wrong and one of the spectators has not followed your instructions exactly. So it's really procedure heavy, and you are just performing the routine like blindfolded, which obviously suggests that this routine will require a heavy scripting, okay, on your part. You really have to give really clear instructions. And there is just one little part that I foresee might be a bit of a problem, okay, for some people. It's really simple to do, all right, for yourself and also on the part of the spectators. However, that there is one part, okay, that if anything's going to go wrong, it's that little part. So you really do have to look after the scripting of the routine, okay, because the method more or less kind of takes care of itself, okay? It's almost self-working. All it requires is you to give really clear instructions. So with good scripting, and if you choose, alert spectators, I think this shouldn't be a problem at all to perform. So Moustapha does give credit in the introduction section of the PDF, all right? So the idea is not his, okay? He has made that, really clear in the PDF, and he actually gave some sources, all right, that he got the idea from, including one Egyptian book that was written in like 1945, and also Carl Falvus. I think he also published something in the 1980s. But I also called Moustapha's attention to another source, all right, because in 2017, a trick shop, okay, actually published a routine that uses pretty much the same method, okay, and also almost the same kind of sequence of events as well. So I told Moustapha about this routine, and it's not to like fault anybody, to like, oh, you did not credit this person, or that kind of a thing. It's not like that. I don't mean it like that, all right? But I just wanted Moustapha to know, all right, so that he's got a more, complete picture for his routine. But all in, a really impossible looking routine, okay? So if you're interested in chair predictions, okay, and to find out more about this particular routine, I will leave the link in the description box down below. Next up, let's talk about Instaforce, okay? Now, out of all the items that Moustapha sent me, I'll be honest, okay, when I first saw the name Insta, okay, in one of them, I was kind of instantly turned off from it, okay, because if you know me, I'm really a tech idiot, and I kind of thought that Instaforce was some kind of app-related magic. But I'm really glad I checked out Instaforce, alright, because this is something that I will definitely be using. So what is Instaforce? Okay, as the name suggests, it's a way of forcing or predicting, okay, depending on how you perform it, a photograph on Instagram. So let me tell you what happens during the course of a sample performance using Instaforce. I'm not going to leave out any detail. It looks as fair as this. So you ask for the loan of a mobile phone, okay, and you choose an iPhone, okay. Now there are ways to do this with Android, but for me personally, I will just be using the iPhone, okay, because that's what I'm familiar with. I use an iPhone myself. So you borrow a spectator's iPhone and you tell them to go to their Instagram account, okay, on their phone. Remember, this is their phone, it's not your phone at all. And on their phone, you take their phone and you can either use their account or just some random Instagram account using the Explore feature on Instagram. So both of you decide on one random account, so maybe both of you decide on some, I don't know, art or photography account, all right, with a good number of random looking images. And so from there, you scroll through the images like that, and you tell the spectator that in a moment, you'll be holding the phone face down like that, and they are to just reach underneath and just scroll through randomly and to stop at any time. So they do just that, okay, and they stop at any time they like, okay, your head is turned away the entire time. You now lift the phone to face them. In fact, you can hand them back their phone, and they are now to look at the photograph that they have randomly stopped on. Now, as fair as everything has been, all right, the photograph that they are now looking at has been forced. Okay, so you know the photograph, you can now start to reveal what the photograph is, or you can do whatever you like to reveal the information. It's really up to you from that point to perform the routine in any way you like. So what do you get when you purchase Instaforce? Well, it is a very short video. Okay, it's very short. It's just a 7.5 minute video. And on the video, Moustapha will teach you just how to perform the effect using Instagram. Okay, and now he teaches on the iPhone. Okay, but there is a way to perform on the Android, and I'll tell you how to get that information a little later on. But on the video, he just teaches the basic version using Instagram on the iPhone. When I watched the video and when I saw the method, I was just kicking myself so hard, all right, because I knew the method. It was something that I always knew and I always known, but it did not occur to me at all to use it for a magic kind of an application. And I was just so upset with myself, Seeing the method, I was just like, I don't know, it was a really mixed feeling kind of a thing. I was excited, okay, to learn the method, but I was just kicking myself, just so disappointed with myself that I did not make the connection, even though I have always known about this. So I mentioned that there is a way to perform this with Android as well. And the thing is, to get that information, what you need to do is to join the Facebook group. There is a dedicated Facebook group that Moustapha has created for Instaforce users. Okay, so definitely get on that group, because there he shares more ideas. Okay, because Instaforce, the concept behind Instaforce, is not limited to just Instagram. You can use it for other kind of applications as well, you know, YouTube, photographs, your notes app as well. You can use it to force all kinds of information on different platforms. So what do I like about Instaforce, all right? First of all, there is no app. Okay, there is no app, so there's nothing to install, nothing to update, nothing to configure, nothing like that. This is just a piece of knowledge, okay, which I really value a lot. I really love these little nuggets of knowledge that once you learn, you have something with you at all times that you can perform as long as someone has an iPhone and you have internet connection. I also like it that it uses the spectator's phone. Okay, so it's as innocent as it gets, right? I mean, it's the spectator's phone. They know that there's nothing wrong with their phone. It's also using their Instagram account, okay? So they know that there's no like trickery or anything like that involved. And the whole process is just so fair, you know, they just scroll through, they face down, they scroll through, they just stop, you show them the phone, you hand it to them, and you have the information already. So again, let me make this clear, at no point in time are you like peeking at what photograph they have stopped on, okay? This is a force, okay? So you already know in advance what photograph you will be using, which of course opens up a lot of ways that you can present this. So I'm going to throw out some ideas for you guys, okay? Just treat it as like a kind of bonus for you, all right, for sticking this far through the video. So the way I think is, you know, I never like to use one particular method and just perform one thing based on that method. Okay, so what I mean by that is I kind of like to use one method and use it as part of something else. So here are two ideas for you with Instaforce. So imagine this, all right? You have a spectator use their phone and go to their Instagram account. So you take their phone and you scroll through, you see that there are many photographs that they've posted, many memories in their life. And so you go through the whole procedure with them, all right? You say you're going to hold the phone face down, they scroll through, they stop any point in time, you show them the photograph that they've stopped at, you can give them the phone at this point in time. They look at the photograph, you tell them to just bring back some memories from that photograph. And from here, you are ready to go into a mental epic style routine. So at the end, you can reveal two thought of pieces of information that you couldn't have known and also reveal the photograph that they've stopped on as well. So this is just kind of like a really personal mental epic style routine that you can perform for a spectator. Another idea I have is for stage. Okay, so for example, you could bring two people up on stage, you borrow their phone, all right, and you go to your Instagram account. And from there, you scroll through and you show them that, you've got many photographs on your page. And the same thing, right? They just scroll through, they stop at any photograph on your profile, you show it to them, and then you hand the phone to them, okay? You can just walk away from them and you tell the first spectator to look at the photograph and just memorize as much as you can about the photograph. Once they've done that, you tell them to hand the phone to the other spectator and have that spectator look at the caption, okay? What is written underneath the photograph. And from that caption, you invite them to think of a long, interesting word. Okay, and turn off the phone, put it into the pocket. You now turn around, you can now do a word reveal and a drawing duplication as well. Alright, so these are just some ideas that have just come to my head literally just after learning the method. So I'm sure if you get this, you will see many other possible applications for your own work as well. Alright, I'd like to thank Moustapha for sending me all his stuff, okay, so that I can chat about them with you on this show. If you're interested to pick up a copy of Deduce or Instaforce for yourself, you can do so from Penguin Magic. I will leave the links in the description box down below. Also, Moustapha has informed me, alright, that if you guys do want to purchase more of his material, okay, because he's got other stuff that he's put out, he sent me an item called The Cut, okay, which is an interesting kind of a cut at any number kind of a routine, and also something called The Peak, alright, which is a peak move of his. So if you would like to pick up maybe all 4 items, maybe, you can contact him directly, okay, on Instagram, and I think he will be able to, give you a good deal on all 4 items. So I will leave his Instagram handle in the description box down below as well. So contact him and see if he can cut you a good deal, alright? Tell him that Nick Tan sent you. Alright, but as always guys, thanks for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I will be slightly busy over the next week or so because it is Chinese New Year, alright? So there are a lot of festivities to get through, but I will try to be back and continue doing this show when I can. So as always, take care of yourselves, stay safe, enjoy your magic, and I will see you again on a future episode of Nique Tan Chats.